Hi guys, I hope everybody is okay and having a great start to 2023. I'm going to have a look at some charts of interest here. I'm going to start with the dollar index though. Dollar index for me is trading within this structure of resistance and support. You can see we've hit resistance here, here and here. This was back in September 2022 and we've started to sell off again. And also moving averages across here, which is a great sign. Last time the moving averages crossed when it hit resistance was here, look, and that led to a very, very nice move down, correction, and another move down, another impulse down. Then we had this huge correction here, which actually lasted over a year. And then we have the next impulse down. So I am looking for price to continue down on the US dollar. And then at some point we're going to get a weekly correction. Let's just have a little look at the daily. I've added a 50 moving average here. So what could happen is if we just look to the left, we can see when we've had an impulse here, we've had a correction back towards the 50 moving average, and here back towards the 50 moving average before the next impulse begins. And we could potentially see that here. We don't know that that's going to happen, but we could potentially see that happen. So that is around 106, I would say, where that 50 moving average is. Nice big number. You can see a little bit of support there. So that is an area to watch. If we were to see some buying coming in on the dollar index, potentially watch 106 as a potential area of resistance and where sellers could come into market. However, if we break and close below this low here, then potentially that correction is then over. Okay, I'm just going to draw a little horizontal ray in, because this is basically the bottom of the impulse. So if we close below that impulse, potentially we are starting a new move to the downside. So I would set alert underneath this low here, and also potentially watch this 50 moving average on the daily, or anywhere around the 106 level. We can set alerts. I'm going to do that right now actually. Set an alert there. So that's potential resistance. And you know, if price comes back up into this level on the daily, well, then you can look for a smaller time frame move and a smaller time frame change of cycle, as those buyers moving up into the 50 moving average change into sellers moving downwards back towards where price found support here, and hopefully a breakout. So yeah, a couple of areas to watch. Deeper pullback 106. But also set an alert. I'm going to do that as well. And below here, for if this area breaks and we see a close below, then potentially that is our next move down. But yeah, looking for downside on the dollar index. It's just a case of when it's going to happen. Yen pairs. I'm going to have a look at some yen pairs, although they're pretty much the same in effect. You can see that putting moving averages on a chart can make things look, you know, very, very simple. And the USD JPY chart is a pretty simple chart. You know, we have our impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. Then we change cycle, and we see a move down, our impulse down, a correction, move down, correction, etc., etc. And the moving averages are bearish here on the daily as well, giving us that bias to sell. And what is happening at the moment? Well, we can see price has broken this immediate trend line. It came back, retested, and had a move down, pulled back into the moving averages into 134, sold off. And now we are potentially pulling back again. So yesterday's daily candle here, nice big bullish candle, pulling back into the moving averages. So what I would say is that, you know, we are still looking for sells. Now we might see, we looked at the dollar index a few minutes ago, we might see that push back up, if you remember, back into 106. So we might see a little bit more of a bigger pullback on dollar yen. But personally, when I'm trading the trend on a daily time frame, as soon as price gets into my EMA here, which is an 8 EMA on the daily, okay, and that's when it's trending, I'm interested then in looking for the move to continue. So price is at the 8 moving average, so I am going to keep my eye on this for sellers to come in. Now that would mean looking at a smaller time frame changes of cycle. Now if I just take my moving averages off here, you can see that price is still bullish. It's made an impulse. This is a 15-minute time frame, by the way. It's made an impulse, correction, and an impulse made a new high. So I want to see a change of cycle, you know, before I start to sell this. So I'd be looking for, you know, price to move down, make a high, and then make a low, etc. I want to see it change cycle. So dollar yen, I'm going to be keeping my eye on for sure. It's in a really, really nice area, although it could push up a little bit more. Hourly, can put our moving averages back on. You know, if you're a moving average trader, then you may want to move, wait for the moving averages to cross in a bearish order. At the moment, they're still bullish. But yeah, just looking at the, if I go back to the daily chart here, then we can have a look at the other yen pairs, and they are pretty much the same in effect. We've had moving averages cross over. Now Kiwi yen, I should say, has come into support here, and we've found buyers come in. So that is very, very interesting to know. If you were to look to sell Kiwi yen, you've got to be aware of this support level here at 81. Aussie yen, sort of similar in a way. We've got this 88 level here, look. So yeah, 88 level where we found support here. So you've got to be a little bit careful there, although the move is still bearish. CAD yen, again, bearish move. So yen strength basically throughout all of these yen pairs. This is a nice one. There's no real support in the way. It's like dollar yen, no support in the way. We've got obviously support at 96, but looking to the left, it's not an area where we've bounced more than once. So yeah, CAD yen, dollar yen could be very, very interesting charts to watch, and obviously the bias is to look for shorts continuing the daily move. One more chart I want to have a little look at is Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie has broken out of what could be a rising wedge pattern. If I just put the weekly on, you can see we've got weekly resistance here. Prices come into it in what is potentially, like I say, a rising wedge pattern. Now, a rising wedge pattern is a bearish pattern, but we would wait for price to break out. So we could be hitting resistance here, and we could see another move down. Now we look to the daily, we can see the breakout here, yesterday's candle, and now we are coming to retest it. So what retesting the rising wedge pattern. So what happens here could be indicative of what happens next. This could be a retest and rejection, and we see a further sells, or it could break back inside the pattern, and it could be a false break. So I'm going to keep my eyes on this. The moving averages on the 4 hour, you can see they're bearish here. I want to see something like an evening star pattern here form, which is a bearish rejection pattern. And if we can get that here, then potentially we could be looking for sells on Euro Aussie. But like I say, if we break back up within the rising wedge, then it could be a false break, and I'd be looking for price to break above this trend line, and then looking for longs. But yeah, dollar index looking good for further shorts. Yen pairs looking good for further shorts, but I'll be a bit particular about what I'll be trading. Dollar, yen, and CAD yen look very, very nice. Euro Aussie, I am going to keep my options open. I'm just going to watch what happens around here, whether I want to be a seller or a buyer. But yeah, it definitely looks interesting to me. So guys, I hope you're having a great start to your 2023, and I look forward to recording more videos for you soon. Safe trading, and I'll catch you again in the next video.